Today we're doing a full back workout. I know I'm wearing the whole jacket, okay? I'm in my garage. Also, I kind of like wearing the jacket. It kind of feels like I'm working, you know? Like it's not just a workout, but like it's like a task. I feel like I'm working. Anyways. So I like to start out by warming up the shoulders. Damn, pronunciation is so bad sometimes. But if you have a resistance band, best thing, okay, to get those upper delts going. And my training usually consists of high intensity, short periods of rest. And I'm not even sure if I'm doing back or arms today, but I guess the title of this video is gonna speak for itself. And yeah, I'm gonna be doing warm-ups which are longer than I usually do them. And I've been doing this for the past couple weeks. I feel like it's been getting better, and I get a better sense of a mind-muscle connection, I guess you could say. And also I feel more confident when I go into pushing the weight and moving and performing my best, pretty much. If you're doing shoulders, you know how easy it is to tweak something there. I'm probably still going to do some pull-ups, maybe just a bit, depending, just to get the blood flowing. And I think as long as you have fun and that, like at the end, you feel better when you walk out than when you walk in of the gym, I think is best. A little tour of the equipment here. We got a little bench situation. I've never seen a bench like this before. I bought this off Facebook Marketplace, but just look at it. You know, you got these like weird levels. It's in a triangle position. It was purple when I got it. Painted it red. The thing looks way better like this. We got a bench. We got a bunch of weights too, like all over. And we got a lat pull down thing. This might turn into our arms there, right? Yeah. There are two things that I've noticed when I do my reps, or at least during my warm-up, is that you look for a sense of, almost like a sense of peace when you train. And it's like it's just two ways to achieve it. And I hope I'm going to be able to explain it in this, is that as you start to move the weight, you feel a sense of tension. And then the challenge when you face the tension is going to be, there's going to be two options. Is to overcome it or to allow it to sort of push you back in a way. And I think it's all ideological, right? Because as you go to move the weight, there's going to be a tension, and I think that tension represents a limit. And if you're able to, through repetition, go past it, then you would have leveled up pretty much. And the sense of peace is from you arriving to the next level. And that is one side of the feeling. The other sense of the feeling is where you have defeated yourself and you allow the limit to push you back. And in that way, I sort of feel like that's a sense of peace, but it's a sense of peace from defeat. It's not really peace. It's just you'll feel worse about yourself. And so whenever I do my reps, I try to go through it in that way. I try to think about it like that when I see or I sense that adversity, and it's been working out for me. Okay, I'm gonna do a bit of pull-ups now. 3 sets, probably a 4 to 6, nothing crazy. Oh yeah, we got the pull out right here. Okay, hold on, let me warm up a bit more because it's to be a bit more of the warm up going on. It's also kind of cold in here, so the jacket and the sweater and stuff is kind of cool. To be warm is not a bad thing. Kind of helps with the pump too. So I'm doing a bit of biceps just because I want to get that warmed up before doing any pull-ups or stuff like that. And yeah, probably 3 sets of this before jumping into pull-ups. Yeah, and I wear these gloves. They're like super rugged, right? And these really help with grip. And also because the metal is cold. So, yeah. And no, I'm not scared of getting my hands hurt. All right. Just for the record. What's nice about warming up is that when you're there, kind of like the rest of the workout, but you can tell because you start to feel really warm. You don't need to be as, you don't need to do the numbers as much. I don't really care about how many reps or sets I do as much as I care about how it feels. And it's subjective at that point. It's for each his own pretty much. Next, I'm gonna start with 2-5, and this time I do about 2 to 5 up to 5 minutes of different type of movements as long as they stay in my hands in the air, and I just try to warm up the shoulders. Okay. So, I think I'm about ready to start pull-ups. Set number 1. See, the bar is not that far from from the ceiling, so I don't want to hurt myself because I've hit my head on top of that a couple times and it sucks. So just trying to do like about 3 sets of 10, something like that, before moving on to the next part pretty much. Which, no lie, looks like it's about to be shoulders. It's kind of crazy at this point in the workout. I haven't like decided yet, but kind of knew it was going to be arms, shoulders and arms, I mean. I try to go down as much as I can just to get a stretch and also to kind of allows the muscle to relax in that moment, but to know that it's still required. And I think that if I didn't, I'd be more prone to hurt myself. The goal here is not a failure, it's just kind of to warm up. Number 2. Next, we're going to do some shoulder press. Damn, hairs. Like, we're going to do shoulder press. I'm going to do mine sitting down just so that I don't hit the ceiling. 3 sets of, or 4 sets. I start with the empty bar. I never try to skip the lowest weight that I can just so that I heard some, it's like the rule, the most, I think it was Alex Hormozi said this, but it's the highest performing people never skip the beginning. And that's what I'm doing here, is that you got to start at the beginning of every workout. You don't miss nothing out of starting with this. It's just, I think it's better. It allows the smallest parts and the weakest parts of your shoulder or muscle that you're about to move to be ready for more weight. And then we'll move on to a bit more. There's no real number that I try to hit. I just kind of like I said, do until I feel like it's good. It's not the most precise way, but it kind of works for me, so whatever. £10. $25. Working out for me isn't as much. It isn't as much about building muscle. I mean, if you're trying to get stronger mentally, right, and build your confidence and stuff like that, working out isn't as much about the weight you move or about getting bigger and stuff like that, but it's you're working on your perspective, right? And so what I like to do is the mental battle that I do is stronger than the physical one, in the sense that you can see the weight as pressure, right? And life is going to give you a situation where you're going to be faced with pressure or have to deal with it. And this is kind of what it represents, really. But if you're able to go through the whole journey of the workout without falling into the negative, and to keep a positive mindset and to handle the pressure, right? And come out the other side and feel like you were able to bear it. I think that is what will make you stronger, when you're able to keep that connection between you and who you are and how you see life, and don't let this sway you away from that. And I hope this makes sense, but that for me is the road that will lead you to bigger strength. And you do that by changing the weight to a level of pressure that is able to stimulate you, and it becomes to that area where it becomes scary. You're not sure if you're going to be able to pull it off. And so the numbers, 12 reps, 15 reps, 3 sets, it really just depends on what you can handle. It just depends on what you can do. Maybe you have to do 50 reps. Maybe you have to do, 2 sets or 5 sets, 10. I don't know. It depends on you and how far you're willing to go, pretty much. This is not advice, but it's just something to be aware of, I guess, I'm saying this as a disclaimer. I'm not a licensed physician, so that's your own risk. $35. When life happens and you have challenges, it's the same thing, really. You're gonna have pressure. You're gonna be under pressure because of a lot of things, and things are gonna challenge the way you view the world, or the way you once viewed it. And if you're able to sustain it and bear it, then your perspective, and by consequence you as a person, who you are, will become stronger. But if your perception cracks and you break, then who you are, a part of you at least, will be broken down. A part of you will die. And I think that's what matters the most. Who you are is a source of inspiration, is a source of relatability to people. You are somebody to somebody else, where you live, where you work, where you spend your time. People know you, and by consequence they become somebody themselves. And so that's the biggest part about perception, the biggest part about who we are, and that we get confused about sometimes. But we have to remember that. So, and to act accordingly, if that is the most important thing that we see, if that's the important thing that we value in life, to act accordingly and to be able to move with that in mind, and to do the things that work in the best interest of that 45s. You know, with what I've said in mind, that's why I like to tell myself in the middle of working out or during times of challenge that true strength isn't about you. True strength is about others, because it's through that you're able to offer, and it's through that you're able to offer value to people and be of value. And that gives meaning to things, because if you limit it to you, there's only so much you'll be able to experience, only so much meaning you'll be able to get. Because for value, for things to be real, they have to be shared. If it's only in your head, we don't call it reality. You can be delusional and bring things into reality, but if they stay in your head, and it's not really, can't be real. And yeah, so it changes the way you work out. It changes the way you go about doing these things. So I'm doing close grip bench, but I try to go as close as I can to the middle of the bar. I try to activate triceps rather than chest a lot. And the pumps on these are crazy. So I suggest this if you haven't tried it yet, I want to try these out.